Namaste, Yinsters, and welcome to your Yin practice. My name is Kimberley Roberts. I'm a reflexologist and Yin Yoga teacher and founder of SolefulYin. Today we're going to be working on some twists. So typically twists are quite energizing, especially if they've been held for a long period of time. We're actually going to do the opposite. We're going to invoke that calming, more parasympathetic, restful state by doing a couple of different twists in different ways, but we're not going to be holding them quite so long. Okay, so we're only going to be holding about 2 minutes per posture. We're going to do two poses, twisted deer and a laying spinal twist. What you'll need for your practice today is, if you've got some blankets, you can grab some blankets and fold them up to make like little mini bolsters. If you don't have that, you can use cushions or pillows. You can also make use of yoga blocks too. If you have yoga blocks, great. If you don't, use the other props. We're going to start with twisted deer pose. So this pose affects, from a musculoskeletal system, your hips, your low back, and also potentially the inner thighs as well, depending on where you're holding your tension. From an energetic, more emotional aspect, the meridian lines or the energy lines in the body that are directly stimulated and affected by this particular sequence is stomach and spleen. Okay. So if you're someone who's working with a lot of emotional distress, in the sense of a lot of worry, a lot of insecurity, a lot of obsession, this is a great little sequence as well to help you release that kind of stuff. And if you ever want to do this in the morning to help stimulate your digestion and to just get yourself more boosted for your day, then you can hold these poses for a good 4 to 5 minutes. We're doing a calming version, so we're going to hold for 2. Okay, so you're going to come and take yourself to the center of your mat. And you're going to take your legs, just extend them straight out for a moment. And for twisted deer, we're going to start by bending just the right leg for a moment. Just draw it in. And you're going to take your left leg and you're going to place your legs so that your knee, ankle, and shin are parallel to one another. Okay? And there's a flexion in that front foot. So if you look at the top of your mat, your shin is parallel with that. And then you're going to just roll over on towards your left hip, and you're going to take your right leg back, but you're going to do the same kind of thing. Okay, so you want your shin, knee, and ankle all parallel, your foot flexed, and whether your knee is parallel to your hip, that's going to depend on your hip. Some of you, if you're really tight, that might actually have to come in a lot closer, and that's okay. Your right hip is naturally going to lift up. Okay? So if that's really uncomfortable for you, you can slide one of your blankets underneath there and tuck it in. Okay? Once you've got yourself kind of set up in this posture, we're going to actually be twisting over towards that left knee. Now some of you, again, depending on how tight you are, as you bring yourself forward and you twist over and your hands are on the floor, that right hip's going to lift up a lot. Try to see if you can drop it down a little bit. It's not going to be flush with the floor, okay? So there is a little bit of an internal rotation in through that hip. But you want to keep that left hip definitely grounded. Okay? This might be where you stay. That could be plenty for you. If you want to go a little bit deeper, if you're not really feeling much here, you could prop yourself onto some blocks and put your forearms there, or some of you might even be coming directly down to your forearms, okay? Again, intentionally ground your left sit bone and let your right sit bone just relax there. Okay? You may want to drop your head down, or you may want to prop it with something underneath so that you have some support for the neck. And slowly start to invite your breath to lengthen, and to deepen. You know, the more that you can invite that long breath in, the more that that signals your body that you can take a deeper breath out. You need to create the space there in order to be able to release it. When you're doing any kinds of twists, I don't recommend doing them right after you've eaten. So typically a minimum of 2 hours after a meal, just so that you're not inviting digestive upset. In the morning, it's great to do if you want to boost your metabolism for the day. Okay, and then you hold for a little bit longer. We've got about another 30 seconds here, so take about another 3 to 4 really deep breaths. And just really allow the musculature in your body to soften so that this pose really gets into the fascia and the connective tissue. That really dense, fibrous, gluey type substance that holds your body in place. And then wherever you are in your breath cycle, empty it out. And then take a deep breath in and take a long breath out. Now slowly start to, if you were down on your palms, you're going to come back up onto your hands and then just draw yourself forward and lift yourself up so your spine is back to straight. From here, you're going to take the back leg in and release the legs out. I like to be a little bit still in between my postures. Some of you may need to feel the need to shake it out and move your legs a little bit. But keep your breath flowing, just as you were when you were in the pose, so that you stay in that fully connected, grounded, balanced state. And then let's switch sides. So from here, you're simply going to take that left leg back, bend the knee, open up the hip, and then you want to get, again, your shin parallel with your ankle and your knee. The knee might be parallel with your hip, or it might actually be in a lot closer. And then you're taking that right shin. So again, ankle, shin, knee, parallel to the front of your mat. You're going to lengthen up, draw your weight into your right sit bone. Left sit bone is slightly elevated. Take a twist over towards your right knee. Maybe some of you are staying here. Or you're starting to explore that fold forward, okay, with either blocks or something underneath you, or maybe even just resting the head down. And wherever you are, again, the eyes stay closed if they opened. The breath lengthens, the breath deepens. The more you stay connected to the sensations that you are experiencing in your physical body, the more you can start to release those. And it's like peeling back layers of an onion. So as you start to peel back a couple of the physical layers and releasing some of that tissue and that tension that lies in the tissues, then sometimes what happens is the emotional and the mental stuff starts to come up. And then we start to invite that to release. So then we come back into our natural, healthy, balanced selves, where everything is harmonious. Our mental, our physical, our emotional bodies. And for the last few breaths here, see if you can really soften your belly, soften the low back, and let the exhale deepen a little bit more. The more you create that deeper breath, the more that signals your body that it can let go. The more we let go, the more we heal. The more we heal, the happier we are. And empty out your breath. And take a deep breath in. Invite a long breath out through your mouth. And then slowly start to lift yourself up. Twist back so that you're facing forward towards your front leg. Lean back a little bit. Release that left leg out. Right leg follows. Again, try to be still for a moment before you move. Take another deep breath in. And take a long breath out. We're going to come down onto the back for a lying spinal twist. Have some props handy close by to you so that you don't have to be looking around once you come down to the floor. So start with your knees bent, roll yourself down on towards your back. Just take a moment and hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe just take even a little bit of a rock side to side to help massage your low back. And then place your feet back down to the floor. Shift your hips over towards the left side of your mat. Draw your knees into your chest and let your knees fall over towards the right. Now, the knees might not make it down to the floor, so you might be up. There could be a big space between the knees. This is where your blocks or props come in handy. So you can slide a block underneath your bottom knee. You can take it between the knees. You can stack if you need to. Or you simply might just have the knees side by each on top. Okay. Arms can either goal post beside you if you don't have a whole lot of space, or you can extend your arms straight out from your shoulder like a letter T. Okay, what you do with your head is entirely up to you. It depends on what your neck feels like. Some people are able to roll the left shoulder or the left ear towards the right shoulder. Some of you, that's not so comfortable, so you might drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Some of you may even want to just keep your head straight. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Find your breath. And again, we're not here for that long. We're only here for a couple of minutes so that we're not getting too energized here. If you're going to practice it for energy, again, you can hold a longer period of time. This is a great pose to release when your low back and your hips are really tight and you've been sitting a lot. Your digestive issues, stomach is off. Again, twists are great for the metabolism. Also really good for opening up the front of the body as well, the chest. Because your arms are extended out, it invites a nice opening through there, which allows your body to release some of the tension that it gets when you've been sitting all day at a desk, or maybe you've been driving a lot, typing a lot. Sometimes in these postures, people will tend to engage the abdominal as a sort of natural reaction. But can you really just soften the belly? Give yourself that little Buddha belly. Create a little bit of space between the upper and the lower teeth. Feel your spine releasing, lengthening. Feel your hips as though they're softening and letting go as your breath starts to deepen and lengthen. We've got another couple of really deep breaths here, so really take advantage of that long exhalation. I'm going to take a breath in and take a breath out. As you inhale, you're going to slowly bring yourself back on towards your spine. Keep your knees bent, feet on the floor. And then just take another breath in And another breath out. And shift your hips over towards the right and let your knees fall to the left. You use whatever props you need to support yourself on this side, whether it's underneath the bottom knee or between the knees. Bring your arms out by your side or goal post or arms straight up from the shoulders. Let the chin roll to wherever it needs to. The eyes are open, close the eyes. Find your breath once again. As much as you can, stay present to your experience. And whatever comes up for you, know that that is okay. And that is okay to let go. Because when we let go, we heal. And when we heal, we are happy. And we are whole. And we are in balance. And then these last few breaths, let the exhale deepen. Twists are so good for the spine. So great for your metabolism. There's so many benefits to doing the twists. Not just physically, but energetically. Whether it's from a more calming aspect or whether it's from a more energizing one. And take a deep breath in and slowly roll yourself back up so that you're back on your spine, laying flat, feet on the floor. And then take a moment to draw your knees in towards your chest. If you need to, take a little rock from side to side. And then make your way into your final resting pose, Shavasana. So that may be keeping your knees bent, it may be propping underneath your knees with some support, or it may be extending the legs all the way out. Let your arms rest down by your side. Invite the shoulders to drop down, feet to flop open, belly softens. Close the eyes down. Let go of your breath. Take at least a couple of minutes in your Shavasana, longer if you have the time. And when you are ready to come out of the pose, take your time to come out slowly and offer a moment of gratitude for your practice and for what serves you and for what you've released. Ariom Tatsa, which means that's it, that's all. From the light in me to the light in you, Namaste.